Why is polygamy not good? A biblical perspective. Polygamy has been a contentious topic throughout history, and the Bible provides a clear lens through which we can examine its implications. Let us explore why polygamy is not in alignment with God's original design, referencing biblical truths and asking thought-provoking questions. Point number 1. God's design for marriage. In Matthew 6 verse 24, Jesus reminds us of God's intention for marriage. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Notice the emphasis on two becoming one, not three, four, or more. This underscores God's plan for a monogamous union where a man and a woman are united in a covenant relationship. Furthermore, Jesus testifies to the creation story in Genesis, where God created humanity as male and female, Genesis 1 verse 27. This demonstrates the complementarity and exclusivity intended in marriage. The focus is on a single, intimate bond between one man and one woman. Point number 2. The emotional consequences of polygamy. Imagine the emotional strain of a marriage where love is divided. To the women, consider this question: how would you feel if your husband loved another wife more than you? The pain of jealousy and comparison can erode trust and unity. Now, let us turn the question to the men: how would you feel if your wife loved another man more than you? Such feelings of betrayal and hurt are incompatible with the deep, sacrificial love that marriage is meant to embody. These scenarios highlight the discord that polygamy brings into relationships. Point number 3. The origin of polygamy. Polygamy's roots trace back to Lamech, a descendant of Cain. In Genesis 4 verse 19, Lamech took 2 wives, breaking away from God's original design for marriage. Lamech's actions reflect his rebellious nature, inherited from his forefather Cain. In contrast, the descendants of Seth upheld monogamous unions, aligning more closely with God's intentions. Point number 4. God's tolerance and desire for righteousness. While God allowed polygamy in the Old Testament, it was a concession due to the hardness of human hearts, Matthew 19 verse 8. This tolerance was not an endorsement but a reflection of God's patience with human weakness. Throughout Scripture, God consistently calls His people to grow in righteousness and return to His original plan for marriage. Point number 5. God's displeasure with polygamy. Polygamy often led to strife and suffering in the Bible. Consider the stories of Abraham, Jacob, and David, whose polygamous relationships resulted in jealousy, conflict, and familial division. These examples illustrate why God is not pleased with polygamy. It deviates from His purpose of unity, harmony, and unconditional love in marriage. Conclusion. From the beginning, God designed marriage to be a sacred and exclusive union between one man and one woman. While polygamy emerged through human rebellion and was tolerated for a time, it was never God's ideal. As followers of Christ, we are called to embrace God's original design and grow in righteousness, reflecting His love and faithfulness in our relationships. Let us strive to honor God's vision for marriage and build relationships rooted in love, trust, and unity.